Welcome back. This is Raw Thoughts from A, where we sit together, pull apart the mess in our minds, and figure out how to live with a little more honesty. Today, we're talking about exhaustion. Not the I didn't sleep enough kind, the kind where you wake up tired, where your bones feel heavy, where coffee helps you survive but never actually makes you feel alive. The question is, do you know why you're always tired? And here's the thing, it might not always be the reason you think. Tired isn't always about sleep. You can get 8 hours, you can get even 10, and still wake up feeling like you've been run over by life. That's because tiredness has layers. There's physical fatigue, sure, but there's also mental fatigue, and emotional fatigue, and even spiritual fatigue. And sometimes, it's not that your body is exhausted, it's that your soul is. I learned this the hard way in my mid-20s. I was working 2 jobs, I was trying to keep friendships alive, I was keeping my family happy, and I was pretending that the stress wasn't eating me alive. I told myself I just needed more sleep, but no matter how much I rested, the tiredness stayed. Because the cause wasn't a lack of rest, it was the constant emotional load I was carrying. The invisible load. Some of you listening right now, you're carrying so much and don't even realize it. It's not just work or study, it's a mental checklist running in the background. Remembering birthdays, worrying about bills, overthinking a conversation you had last week, holding on to things you can't even talk about. It's like having 10 tabs open in your brain at all times, and just like a computer, your energy drains faster when you're running too many things at once. Think about it. When was the last thing you truly stopped? Not scrolling on your phone, not watching Netflix in the background while you cook, stopped. For a lot of us, the answer is I can't remember. And that's a clue. There are 7 types of rest. I used to think rest meant sleep. But Dr. Sandra Dalton-Smith talks about the 7 types of rest we all need. Physical rest. These are your sleeps, naps, lying down. The second one, mental rest, taking breaks from overthinking and problem solving. Sensory rest, stepping away from screens, noise, constant stimulation. Creative rest, giving your imagination space to breathe. Emotional rest, being around people where you can be real. Social rest, pulling back from relationships that drain you. And in spiritual rest, connecting with something bigger than yourself. When I first read that list, I realized I was only doing one. Physical rest. And even that wasn't enough. No wonder I was tired. My body was sleeping, but my mind and heart were still running marathons in the background. There's the emotional weight we don't acknowledge. Here's a truth people don't like to admit. A lot of your tiredness is emotional. You're tired because you're constantly people-pleasing. You're tired because you're living a version of yourself that's palatable to others, but exhausting to yourself. You're tired because you're holding in tears you haven't let yourself cry. And maybe you've been like that for so long, you've forgotten what it feels like to actually feel light. When I was younger, I thought toughing it out was strength. Now I know letting yourself be human is the real strength. Crying when you need to, saying no without guilt, taking a whole day to do nothing without feeling lazy. These aren't weaknesses, they're survival skills. Burnout doesn't always look like collapse. Burnout has a PR problem. We think it's someone completely breaking down, crying at the desk, quitting the job, disappearing from life. But burnout can also look like being irritable all the time, not feeling excited about anything, forgetting things easily, going through the motions without joy. Sometimes you don't even realize you're burnt out because you're still functioning, but functioning and living are 2 very different things. Here are some practical ways to refill your tank. I want to end with some things that actually help. Not the Instagram self-care checklist. Real, deep rest. Audit your energy leaks. Write down everything you do in a day. Circle what actually drains you. See what you can remove, delegate, or delay. Schedule real breaks. And I mean schedule them like you're there at meetings. Block off time when you're unreachable. Find your emotional safe space. Whether it's a friend, a therapist, or a journal. Somewhere you can drop that mask. Lower the bar. Not every day has to be productive. Survival days are just valid days. Relearn what joy feels like. Do something small that lights you up, even if it feels silly or pointless. If you've been tired for as long as you can remember, please hear me. It's not always about laziness, and it's not always about sleep. Sometimes it's about the weight you've been carrying, the masks you've been wearing, and the fact that you've been running without ever stopping to breathe. So maybe your only job today is to stop, breathe, and let yourself rest in more ways than one. This was Raw Thoughts from A. I'll see you next time, and hopefully a little less tired.